Donald Trump is back in the White House. His return has sent shockwaves through Washington. The Justice Department's investigation into the January 6th Capitol attack is directly in his line of fire. The DOJ is now navigating a treacherous new political landscape. Their pursuit of justice has become even more fraught. The investigation itself is massive. It's the largest criminal investigation in U.S. history. Over 1,570 people have been arrested. The charges range from disorderly conduct to seditious conspiracy. The sheer scale of the investigation is daunting. Trump's return adds an unprecedented layer of complexity. Trump has repeatedly attacked the investigation. He calls it a witch hunt. He has vowed to pardon those convicted. His rhetoric has emboldened his supporters. It has also fueled concerns about witness intimidation. The DOJ is now operating under immense pressure. The Justice Department is facing a dilemma. They must uphold the rule of law. They must also avoid the appearance of political persecution. It's a difficult balance to strike. Trump's return has made their job infinitely harder. The Justice Department has been forced to adapt. Prosecutors are now prioritizing the most serious cases. These are the cases involving assaults on police officers. They are also focusing on those who played a leading role in the attack. This strategic shift is a recognition of the political realities. The DOJ has limited resources. They cannot prosecute every single person who participated in the riot. They have to prioritize. Focusing on the most serious offenses sends a message. Those who engaged in violence will be held accountable. This approach is not without its critics. Some argue that it lets lower-level offenders off the hook. They say that everyone who entered the Capitol illegally should face consequences. However, the DOJ believes that this is the most effective way to secure meaningful convictions. The Justice Department is also under pressure to move quickly. Trump could potentially run out the clock on the investigation. If he can delay the proceedings long enough, he could avoid accountability altogether. The DOJ is aware of this threat. They are working diligently to build strong cases that can withstand legal challenges. One of the biggest challenges facing the DOJ is the threat of presidential pardons. Trump has repeatedly hinted that he would pardon those convicted of crimes related to January 6th. He has called the rioters patriots. He has said that they were protesting a rigged election. Trump's pardon power is absolute. He can pardon anyone he wants for any reason. He does not need to provide any justification for his actions. This power is virtually unchecked. It poses a serious threat to the rule of law. If Trump were to issue pardons, it would undermine the entire January 6th investigation. It would send a message that those who attacked the Capitol will not be held accountable. It would also set a dangerous precedent for future presidents. The Justice Department is aware of the threat of pardons. They are building their cases carefully. They are gathering overwhelming evidence. They want to make it as difficult as possible for Trump to issue pardons. However, there is no guarantee that their efforts will be successful. Section 4. A beleaguered Justice Department faces uncertain future. The Justice Department is facing an unprecedented challenge. They are investigating a former president. They are doing so while he is actively campaigning for office. And they are doing so under the constant threat of presidential pardons. The situation has taken a toll on the DOJ. Morale is low. Many prosecutors are feeling burned out. They are working long hours. They are facing intense scrutiny. And they are doing so without any guarantee of success. Despite the challenges, many within the DOJ remain committed to the investigation. They believe that it is essential to hold those responsible for January 6th accountable. They know that the future of American democracy is at stake. The Justice Department is facing an uphill battle, but they are determined to see the investigation through to the end. They know that the rule of law is counting on them. Section 5. The stakes for American democracy. The Justice Department's investigation into January 6th is about more than just holding individuals accountable. It's about protecting American democracy. The attack on the Capitol was an attack on the very foundation of our government. If those responsible for January 6th are not held accountable, it will set a dangerous precedent. It will send a message that violence is an acceptable means of political discourse. It will also embolden others who seek to undermine American democracy. The stakes could not be higher. The future of American democracy hangs in the balance. The Justice Department's investigation is essential to preserving our republic. The American people must stand behind them as they carry out this vital work. The outcome of the investigation will have far-reaching consequences. It will determine whether the United States remains a nation of laws. It will also determine whether we are able to hold our leaders accountable for their actions. The eyes of the world are upon us.